instaMERSION.
Welcome everybody back to I Am Studio. We have the lovely Sue Jorgenson in the house, and Sue is a representative of Premier Benefit Consultants, and her specialty is Medicare. And Sue also has I'm sure, a awesome story to share with us too about your life and so forth. But yeah, just looking forward to diving more into our conversation together and just learning more about not only what you do, but who you are, and how you can just shine your blessing to us.
Thank you, Alex, for having me here today. Really, never been in an interview where I get to shine my blessings, but I suppose that's what we're asked to do every day, right?
Yes. No, well, the moment that you walked into the house, I could already feel, just you shining God's light. And
thank you.
So just love to always start with where we first kind of intersected, and it's actually through your good friend Marion, right?
Right. So Marion Fong, she asked me about coming to talk with you about Medicare, and it's what I do.
Right.
And it's what I love to do because it's helping Kupuna with their Medicare, and Medicare is difficult.
Yeah.
Medicare is really difficult. It's just complicated. It changes all the time.
Absolutely.
There are regulations and rules that if you don't pay attention and you miss deadlines, you can have penalties. So I found it fascinating because I couldn't understand it. And that's how I first became involved with Medicare.
Wow.
I was trying to figure it out for myself and my brother, who's a year older than me. I was actually working at the time at the Halikoa Hotel.
Right.
I was a training manager for the managers, and in training you take a lot of information, you cull it down, and you make it understandable. And I couldn't do that with Medicare. It was really difficult. So I went to presentations, different carriers. I met with an agent. I still couldn't get it. So I was like, this is driving me crazy. So I actually really began to consciously study it, because it was coming up for me in a year or two, and for my brother in a year. And anyway, I just kind of fell in love with it, because I figured that if I could understand it, I could then help others understand it. So that's kind of where I got to. I was never in insurance before. In fact, I'm not a proponent of insurance. I know, because I'm more of a risk taker, maybe, or I trust God. I mean, that's another way to say things. Anyway, that's what I do. And I think it's become, one of my clients said, it's your ministry. And I never looked at it that way. So now that I look at it that way, it's always a matter of what can I do to serve, versus...
I love that heart,
Right? It is service, because for clients, they don't pay you to do this, or they don't pay me to do this, but hopefully I can give them enough information, they can make a great decision about their health care, because as seniors, one of our biggest expenses, and I'm in that category too, other than housing, is healthcare.
Yeah.
And it's unpredictable. So we like to hopefully each year guide seniors to figure out what's best for them as their needs change, and as the plans change, and as Medicare changes. So it's an ongoing, we have to certify, we have to be educated each year, we have to pass national and individual insurance carrier certifications. So hopefully we get enough information and do it every day that we can guide someone who does it maybe once a year, or as they age in at 65 years of age, what do I do now? Yeah.
I've sat through a ton of Medicare presentations.
You're so young.
No, but it's always kind of stumbled upon, whether it's through our church or like through other workplaces. And honestly, for me, it was always like, it was a ton of information. The mindset that I had during the time was, this doesn't apply to me, I'm too young. Exactly. And I'm sure that's probably a myth, right? But for you, how would you, in Sue's understanding and Sue's language, how would you break down what is Medicare? And for somebody, because I feel like the common mentality is, I'll just kind of worry about that when I get to that stage of life. But I'm pretty sure you can probably contradict and say, no, it's something that, should I be looking at that now? Or
I think you're okay.
Okay.
You look really young.
Okay, good.
Truly, yeah. No, you're right. It's something that we don't look at until it's coming down the pike, like I did when I was around 62. I think I started looking at it, trying to figure out how that fits in with my employer retirement benefits, or if it did at all. So Medicare in general is a federal government program. we are paying into the tax system through our paychecks. They take a Medicare percentage out. And
so most people are already paying into it probably without even knowing it.
yes, we do have a deduction. And so the taxes that go in there then subsidize our Medicare when we become of age. Medicare is mostly for people that as we turn 65 years of age, but it's not just for that. There are those that qualify earlier through disability, and also different types of diseases like Lou Gehrig's and that kind of a thing. So it's not just when you turn 65, but most of us don't look at it till we're getting close to that age, because how does that fit into our retirement planning?
Right.
So in terms of how it differs from other programs, people sometimes think Medicare and Medicaid or MedQuest are similar, and they're not at all. So Medicaid or MedQuest is a state program, and it's an income and asset qualified program. Medicare is not. It's for anyone who has worked at least 10 years, paid into the tax system. And when you come of age, then you are entitled to that. What else would be important about Medicare? I kind of had this train of thought that was going somewhere, but it got derailed. It was derailed.
Take your time.
It was derailed. So Medicaid, Medicare, and there was something else I was going to say, but it kind of just went away for a little while. So keep talking to me. It'll come back. It'll come back.
So when it comes to Medicare, because I'm sure most people have insurance as they're working up to a certain point, but then, once you kind of enter retirement, what happens in that situation? Is there current, like, let's say if I'm on HMSA or if I'm with Kaiser or whatnot, we think we're covered, right? But then to think kind of ahead to the, I was about to say afterlife, after work life. After work life. Yes.
Excuse me.
Right.
So we're usually covered as an employee because the Hawaii Prepaid Healthcare Act requires that our employers offer it to us, if we work more than 20 hours a week consistently. So when we leave our job, we leave our employer group plan, and that's the first time we have to individually manage our healthcare.
Yeah.
Because usually, while we're working, it's kind of a matter, do you want Kaiser or HMSA or, whatever is available. And it's an all-in-one plan. So you don't have to think about components. But when we go into Medicare, it is individual. So we do have to make decisions about which carrier, if we want to pick up a private insurance plan to supplement original Medicare. We might want to think about dental, which is not covered by Medicare.
Yes.
We do have to think about prescription drugs because those are not covered by Medicare. Vision and hearing are not covered by Medicare. So there's a lot of different components, and there is no best plan for everyone. And this is what people always ask is, what's the best plan? Just tell me.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't, it doesn't mean there is a best plan for everyone, but there's a best plan for each person, because we have to look at your doctors and which networks are they in.
Maybe medical history too. Everyone has different.
Right. What are your concerns?
Right.
Which prescription drugs do you take? Because the different plans have different networks of providers, and they put the drugs into different formularies. So the formularies will then determine what your copay or if it's even covered.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, I guess, just looking at what the concerns and most important things are in addition to your doctors and your drugs, and then figuring out which plans would cover you. Because original Medicare by itself is basically hospitalization and outpatient medical, but doesn't include some of those other things I mentioned. So it comes down to that. And when you leave your job, usually HR may know a little bit, but they can't really help you.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'm helping, when I worked at the Halikoa, a lot of the people retiring now are asking me to help them.
Yeah.
Right, because they need to know to avoid late enrollment penalties as they leave their group plan. The other thing I was going to mention that came back to me.
It's coming back.
Besides Medicare, MedQuest, or Medicaid is Social Security.
Social Security is the big one. Yeah.
So a lot of people think, I don't have Social Security yet, so I can't get Medicare, or I have to take Social Security in order to get Medicare. But they're really two different parts of your retirement, really, truly. And Social Security, as you know, can be taken at any age, but from 62, well, not any age, but from 62 up to 70. Medicare begins at 65. So what you want to think about when you look at when you want to start taking your Social Security benefits is, how are you financially going to be until the age of 70? Because if you wait till 70, you'll have the highest Social Security distribution.
Oh, I see.
So every year you wait is about 8% increase.
Right.
But you can start early. And Medicare at age 65, if you begin Medicare while you're still working, you don't want to pick up the two parts because one of them does require a monthly premium.
Oh, I see.
So there are two parts. Hospitalization Part A is paid for through our taxes.
Right.
So that's kind of a no-brainer. You turn 65, you can enroll yourself into Medicare Part A, no premium. You now have double coverage through your group employer plan and through your Part A. So you want to not enroll into Part B until you're ready to leave your employer because that's going to cost you, for 2022, and it varies every year, but 2022 it's $170.10 a month premium.
Okay. Right.
And Part B covers your outpatient. So that's your doctor visits, your outpatient surgery, it's your MRIs, those kinds of things.
So just from what you're describing, there is kind of a strategy, so to speak, right? In terms of like when to kind of roll onto Medicare, and you want to go on too early, but then you don't want to go on too late at the same time, right?
Right. Perfectly said. See? I get into
I'm just
the weeds.
repeating what you said.
I get into the weeds, and you're like, yeah, that's right. Bottom line is, right, there is a window of opportunity. And if you miss it, then there could be consequences financially.
Sure. Yeah. When it comes to just expectation of, like you mentioned, everybody's in different kind of health situations, and there comes, vision and dental and things that aren't necessarily covered by Medicare, but what's the expectation of, what is covered by Medicare and what, because insurance is kind of to have that peace of mind, right? Especially kind of at that age, kind of entering more into that Kupuna season, right? And then wanting to, just probably having more health conditions probably come up during that time just because of age and wear and tear on our body and so forth. But what are the expectations in terms of what is covered? And then you already mentioned kind of what's not covered, but maybe you can just kind of...
So great question. The basic question, right? What is covered? So Part A, hospitalization's covered. So your inpatient hospital stays.
Right.
There is a deductible to every stay. It's around $1,500. And that's Part A. Part B is your outpatient services. So when you visit the doctor, if you have any tests, whether it's blood tests or MRIs, if you have outpatient surgery and you don't stay overnight in the hospital, any of those types of procedures, colonoscopies, your preventive tests and scans. So that's covered by Part B.
Okay.
And other than that, and Part B, sorry to go backward a little bit, there is a deductible.
Yes.
Annually, it's about $233.
Okay, that's where the payments start coming in, right?
And then there's a co-insurance of 20%. So all of your outpatient services subject to a 20% co-insurance.
Yeah.
And there's no ceiling, meaning that that's 20% of everything.
Right.
So with there's no financial protection with original Medicare. It covers your basics, but if you should have serious health needs, then you're at risk for a lot of additional co-pays.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just your basic original Medicare. So that's what's covered.
Yeah. So you mentioned when it comes to other things such as dental and vision, hearing, that those things aren't necessarily covered by Medicare. Are there other services that maybe your company provides, or like how would somebody kind of go and find kind of an all-in-one kind of thing versus just kind of piecing it together and trying to figure out how to do it on their own, right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
As well as we can, which is what I did when I first got trying to piece it together.
Right.
Yes. So what I do at Premier Benefit Consultants, and we are an agency that is locally owned, and we've got over 60 agents on all islands.
Wow.
And we service our clients at no cost because we're certified with the insurance carriers who compensate us to represent them in the field and to service their clients. That being said, Premier Benefit Consultants represents more Medicare Advantage plans than any other agency in the islands. We have HMSA as an exclusive, and then we also do some of the others such as United Healthcare, which is AARP, Humana, WellCare Ohana, there's Aloha Care. And as far as dental, we do, most of us help to guide with dental.
Yes.
HMSA has a plan, HDS has a plan.
Wow.
But in terms of what you can expect by having a local agent is, you don't have to do all your homework yourself.
Yeah, that's, again, peace of mind, right?
Peace of mind that someone looked at all the options, gave them to you to decide on your own based on your, biggest concerns. and then stays with you. So year after year, when annual enrollment comes around, which is October 15th through December 7th,
Right.
all Medicare beneficiaries have a chance to change their plan or change what they're doing with Medicare. And that's where your local agent, you would contact one of us and say, hey, so, what do you think? Is there anything better for me? Or I now have this prescription drug that's not covered, or, my teeth are becoming an issue. So those kinds of things help us to then go back in and fact find and do an analysis, a needs analysis.
Yes.
And then find out what might be good for the coming year.
Yeah. Now comes the grand question in terms of people are probably thinking, oh, what's the cost of this? You mentioned, Social Security, just kind of strategizing ways to kind of be able to maximize the benefits of the timeliness, but what's the expectation in terms of what's this going to cost out of my pocket? Am I able to hopefully by this point, maybe people have pensions or maybe they have some kind of retirement thing going, but what's the financial expectation?
Right. So again, depends on your situation.
Depends, yes.
There are some plans that are great for post-retirement medical.
Right.
And that would be the state retirees. Federal has a pretty good plan, a great plan actually. Some of the larger employers, Hawaiian Electric, AT&T, etc. So we'd have to sit down and say, what are your options through your retirement?
Great.
And that would come from HR, getting evidence of coverage and a summary of benefits on what plan they're entitled to, or as you retire, and taking that and looking at, is there something else in the outside marketplace that might be better? In general, your post-retirement medical plan is going to be better. It has more in it, but not always. So that's where we need to guide on, let's look at what you got, let's see what else is out there, and then, come to a decision. So, and some of the plans do cost money.
Sure.
And some of the plans are an actual benefit. The state reimburses retirees for their Part B premium. So it's a huge benefit. But for your normal person like myself, when I went into Medicare, my biggest expense is Part B. So Part B changes. It jumped up $20 from 2021 to 2022, and it's a monthly premium. So you can at least count on that premium of $170 in 2022 and whatever it goes to in the future. In addition to that, you can look at two ways to supplement Medicare, the original Medicare. So there is the Advantage plans I was mentioning, which pick up vision, a lot of them hearing.
Excellent.
Some of them have dental in it, and some have acupuncture and chiropractic.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So as preventive.
Yes.
Those Medicare Advantage plans are by county or they're regional. So we would have to look at where, in other words, on the island of Kauai is different from Honolulu County. So we look at what's available and what are the plans and is there a cost. Luckily, in Honolulu, we have some amazing plans that are zero premium. Nothing. Have your Part A, Part B, you qualify for this plan. So when you ask what is your financial risk, it is your monthly premium.
Of course.
Your out-of-pocket co-pays, depending on which plan that you take. But for example, a plan may be a zero premium per month. When I go to see the doctor, I pay nothing or $5.
Right.
If I see a specialist, I pay maybe $40, $50. And if I have outpatient surgery, it could be a set cost of $425, or it could be 20%. Depends on which plan you have. And they all have a financial cap. Unlike original Medicare, 20% of whatever, they all have a maximum out-of-pocket on these plans. It's around $6,700 a year.
Wow.
And after that, the plan will pay 100% of your medical that are Medicare covered expenses. So not your drugs and not some of the things that are not Medicare covered. Some of the plans are as low as $3,200. So it just depends on which plan, but that caps your financial risk, and you just pay as you go, kind of fee for service type of plans. But your monthly in projecting and predictable expenses could be just your Part B. That's one way to go. There's another way to go, which is a supplement plan, Medicare supplement. So that is a totally different animal. And for some people, it really makes sense, especially if you like to know that your costs are predictable. You have no out-of-pocket as you go. So you pay you pay a premium instead of a zero premium. For example, you pay maybe $150 to $200 a month. And then as you go to any Medicare accepting doctor, which is a network, Medicare accepting doctors anywhere in the U.S. So if you need special services from UCLA Cancer Center, or you go to the Mayo Clinic because you've been going, Medicare supplement is definitely the way to go. Covers all of your out-of-pocket if the doctor accepts Medicare.
Yeah.
Then you need to pick up a drug plan because it doesn't include drugs. So on this side of the fence, it's going to cost you more. So $50, let's say, for a drug plan. It can be as low as $8, but let's say 50. It can be as high as 96, and then say 150 to 200 here. So you've got 250, 300, call it 300 plus your Part B per month.
Yeah.
And you're well covered. And on this side of the fence, you know, which is a Medicare Advantage plan, you've got your Part B, 0 premium or so, or low premium. It can be as high as $127 or even higher, $196, something like that.
Sure.
But it just depends on which plan, and then you pay as you go.
I see. I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second, and I'm pretty sure you've seen, with your amount of years in the business, all kinds of, you know, just the whole gamut of different situations. What's the worst case scenario if somebody just says, okay, you know what, I'm good, I don't need Medicare, don't need insurance, I'm just gonna, you know, kind of base, you know, I'm in good health, right? Versus what's the best case scenario?
So worst case scenario that I've seen, and actually just to qualify, I haven't been in the business all that long. I came from training background and editorial or journalism. Yeah, so I basically have been in Medicare since 2018.
Okay.
But in that short period of time, I've seen a lot of different types of clients, and probably the best case that I've seen was someone who had to retire due to health reasons, but was of age. So
perfect candidate then.
Yeah, but had dialysis and was undergoing radiation. And so it was, and the pills, the chemotherapy pills, I think they were chemotherapy, but they were like $300 a pill. Wow. And so I was working with a daughter, and it was just like, oh, so we were able to put him on a Medicare supplement plan and a drug plan, which took care of his out-of-pocket, because dialysis can be $30,000 a month. So, you know, on original Medicare, 20% is $6,000.
Yeah, substantial.
So Medicare supplement, thank God. And when you first go into Medicare, if you want Medicare supplement, you are guaranteed issue. Later down the road, they medically underwrite. You may not be able to get it with pre-existing conditions. So it's perfect. Worst case scenario, sadly enough, was someone who was a dependent on his spouse's employer group plan. Okay. She left, went into Medicare. He said, I'll just be fine. It's only 3 months before I become 65.
Oh, so he just kind of waited.
He said, I'll just wait and go into Medicare in 3 months.
Yeah.
And so he texted me or called me from the hospital and said, I'm at the hospital. I had gallstones or whatever. It was some kind of surgery.
It's just a sudden kind of thing that happened in that
emergency room, gallstone, blah, 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 hospital stay. And I was like, oh, no, you can't have it now. Next month is Medicare, right? But that was his decision, and sadly, he didn't have Medicare to cover it. So, you know, he was lucky enough to apply for Medicaid through the hospital administrative. You know, they help you with that stuff, and he qualified.
I can't imagine probably scrambling to try to figure something out.
Yeah,
at that
not
point,
having
right?
insurance is really not a good idea
Not the best
at any
case,
point.
yeah.
But I always tell people, seniors, of course, that I work with, or anyone, the best form of insurance, health insurance, is to stay healthy. Yeah. You know, that whole ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure is just so true. Because
stay healthy and have the insurance too, right?
And have insurance, because insurance is for emergencies. That's why it was created, right? So we never know.
Even if you are healthy, there could be incidental things that happen. Maybe you get hit by a bus or something like that, right? I mean, God forbid.
But I see so many prescription drugs that sometimes my clients, that when I do an analysis, like so if we stay healthy, hopefully we keep that to a minimum. I believe the medical field and all of the technology is a God-given gift. You know, we use it as often as we can, but if we take care of our bodies, and, you know, we were talking about holistic health, take care of ourselves as a temple of God, then, you know, that's there if we need it, but hopefully we minimize, because we're taking steps responsibly, you know, to be preventively proactive to keep our health.
Absolutely.
Especially as we age, because you're right, the wheels come off. Got a lot of that. 200,000 miles, I've changed the oil all along. So, hopefully it's not as serious as if I hadn't taken care of preventive maintenance. But
no, Sue, I really see you, we use that term shining blessing, but I really see you as a shining blessing, as somebody that God is using in this profession to be able to help a lot of, especially Kupuna, right, be able to better prepare themselves for that kind of fall, winter season of their lives, to make sure that, hey, they could go about enjoying their life with maximum coverage, less worries, less concerns, but peace of mind, right?
Peace of mind's the biggest, yeah. Right, I agree.
So we're kind of down to our last few minutes already, right?
Sorry, I talk too much.
No, you're doing just great. I want to just give you a few minutes, and I just call this time your time to shine. And so if you could address the camera in front, and if there's anything that you would love to just pitch or promote, your services, your products, ways that we could just best contact you and get a hold of you and sign up for Medicare.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for this time to shine. So yes, you can contact me through Premier Benefit Consultants by calling the office. Our office is in the corner of Pensacola and Kapiolani. You can also just call me directly, which is probably the best, and my number is 808-389-5073. Email works, Sue at PBC, which is Premier Benefit Consultants, pbchawaii.com is also really good. You can text me too. So what I want to say though is I am a senior. I am a Medicare beneficiary. When I first began in this, I was learning to help others, and I still do that, but it's become very personal to me, because I know what it means to be in your shoes and know that someone's looking out for me. So I'm an advocate for my clients. I'm not working for any particular insurance company, and that's what you want, whether it's me or any other local agent that you can pick up the phone and get some help, and they're going to be unbiased in terms of the help they give you. But being a senior too, I'm old school. So I totally believe in service, because when I receive good customer service, I'm always like, wow, that was really great. So for me, service means giving you a call back, getting back to you, because I know it's a concern for you when you call me. And also just keeping in touch and making sure that you're doing well and whatever else you need. So if you need any help, don't hesitate to give me a call, a text, write to me. And even if you don't think you're going to need my help, I always say I'm happy to give advice to anyone that would like it. And happy to be of service. So
amazing. Sue, this education is so invaluable, right? And I would just urge the viewer, just don't wait till it's too late, right? I mean, even for somebody like me, even though I'm younger, to have this education now so I could better prepare myself, so when that season comes, that there would be that kind of smoother transition, smoother rollover, so that, my health, peace of mind for my family is best insured. So don't want to hit those worst case scenarios where scrambling at the last moment to actually get things in order, or maybe there's an incidental that happens, but want to just kind of best prepare ourselves for the future. And so this is Sue Jorgenson from Premier Benefit Consultants. If you have anything Medicare related questions, concerns, or even just wanting to sign up, not only Medicare but other types of insurance, to kind of help find that all-in-one package that would best suit your health condition, and then again, just to ensure overall peace of mind for you and your family, contact Sue, and I'll leave her information in the description box below.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
But Sue, you're a shining blessing. Thank you again just for your time and just for educating me and our audience for the importance of Medicare. And then again, don't want to wait till it's too late, right?
Oh, thank you so much, Alex. Really, thank you for this opportunity.
So that's it for this episode of I Am Talk. And signing off, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, take care.
instaMERSION.
I would love to thank you for hanging out with us here on I Am Talk. Hit the subscribe button to stay in tune with our channel. Oh, and don't forget to tap that bell icon to get notifications on the latest episodes coming your way. We're always looking for the next guests to talk story with here on I Am Talk. So if you just shoot me an email at alex@instaMERSION.com, I'll be sure to shoot a guest application your way. Well guys, it's all for now. Until our next episode of I Am Talk, this is Alex, and I'm out. Peace!